What's happening, everybody? Thank you for being here at All Access Live with Kevin Rankin. Monday, January 27th, and we just returned from the NAMM show, 2025 NAMM show in Anaheim, California, and featured there, winning the 2025 Sales and Marketing Promotion Award is my sponsor, 5starguitars.com. If you go to 5starguitars.com and you want to play guitar, get lessons, get some accessories, you can go there. Everything that you see when you check out, there's a promo code section. This is a brand new promotion, comes out today. If you use the promo code of All Access Live, you're going to save 15% off of everything. Not just what you see on the promo page, but everything on the site. So if you find yourself a Paul Reed Smith, go out there, use All Access Live on the promo code. You're going to save 15%. And if you order from the US, there's no sales tax in Oregon. So you're saving a ton of dough and you're helping out my amazing sponsor. So go to 5starguitars.com, check them out, check out, and use the promo code of All Access Live. Also, if you came here anywhere other than YouTube, do me a favor. Go to this link below. Go to youtube.com/@accesskevin, and you'll be able to subscribe to this channel. You can like it, you can share it, and if you so choose, you can become a member. Members get exclusive access to certain episodes that are not privy to the general public, but there's no need. If you want to just join and have a free subscription, just join the channel. I've got some amazing guests coming up Wednesday, January 29th at 5 p.m. Pacific. I've got the illustrious Tommy Two-Tone, known best for his hits 8675309. On February 18th, the incredibly talented Kip Winger will be on this show, 5 o'clock Pacific. Friday, January 7th, 2024 AVN award-winning Nikki Dial will be on the show. So lots of amazing guests. I also have upcoming and not yet confirmed on the dates. Narada Michael Walden, drummer from everybody, Jeff Beck and beyond, worked with Quincy Jones his entire career. And an incredible band, Fox and Bones, that was just showcased at the NAMM show. So subscribe to the channel, and you'll also have an opportunity to get more information about my next guest, who hopefully is going to dial right back in. He just disappeared on me. But Dalton Levi Woodward is the singer from this incredible band in England called Erica. And we first discovered this band when A Flock of Seagulls was touring in the UK about 6 or 7 years ago. Erica opened up for A Flock of Seagulls, and instantly I saw a similarity, some bands that I liked a lot, the Mayfield Four, Alter Bridge, combined with kind of a Kings of Leon vibe. Amazing trio. And that lead singer had all the moxie that you might need in a rock star. So let me see if I can't dial him up really quick here, and we'll get him online. He just disappeared on me. So let's do this. Let's call Dalton. Well, You know what? We'll just see if he dumps back in here, and we'll punt. He had to move things back a little bit because he's preparing right now for a presentation, a live show at the Grammy Awards post party. He's in Los Angeles at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and you would think Wi-Fi would be really solid there, but we tried to do this podcast recording there yesterday, and the Wi-Fi signal wasn't good enough. So we'll see if he can jump back in here again, and in the meantime, if you've got some questions for Dalton, go ahead and throw them in the chat. If you're on this on YouTube, you can throw those in the chat, and I can answer anything for Dalton. And yeah, I'm just taking a look at what else we've got in the. Okay, so we've got lots of you right here on Instagram. Thank you for being here. Also, want to let you guys know I talked about the 5-Star Guitars 2025 NAMM award winning. I had a short conversation with those guys at the show, and if you look in the channel feed for All Access Live, you'll see a little bit of information about what happened at the award ceremony, how they received that, and maybe some years past. But their post-award ceremony, they actually got to party with John Mayer and Jack White and a bunch of other artists. So that was phenomenal. Dalton just popped in for a second and dropped right back out again. So I'm thinking that his Wi-Fi signal is tough. But let's see this. I got him back again. There he is. Dalton.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm struggling to hook in, brother, unfortunately, but I think I'm here now.
Okay. Well, yeah, it looks good, my man.
You good?
We've got yep, we got a Sprite bottle in the foreground. So this show is not.
It's got a tiny little bit of Patron in it, but just the smallest amount there, just to give me a bit of Dutch courage here, careful,
I love it. Hey, there's some other foreground. I think there's a little metal wire grate that may be blocking some of your view, and I don't want to obscure any of the gloriousness of Dalton. Just there you go. That was it. That did it. Awesome. So there you are. You're there at the Ritz-Carlton in Jimmy's place, man, Mr. Jim Harrison.
Residences at Mr. Harrison's, mate. Having an absolute incredible 6 weeks so far. Living it up, networking.
Incredible.
And just enjoying ourselves, really, mate. Watching lots of ice hockey, the LA Kings.
The most famous, unfamous people.
As you just said, with the two most famous, unfamous people actually in the building, I think. But it's great because you get to hang around with some Kings players, some Lakers players, and some Jimmy.
Actually, the other day you posted. Yeah, you saw Floyd Mayweather downstairs, and I figured that you might actually bring him on the podcast today.
Mate, I bumped into Floyd Mayweather the other morning in the reception, and I honestly, we didn't even know who he was at the time. And I looked at him, he gave me a fist bump, and said, "Yo, brother," and I was like, "Hey." I looked back, and I'm like, "Are you Floyd Mayweather?" He was like, "Yeah." I felt stupid, Kev. I really did.
No. Did you see his Instagram? Actually, he posted later. He said, "Man, I got to fist bump Dalton Levi Woodward," and so yeah.
I'm sure he did, bro. I'm sure he did.
No, he's got to be a huge Erica fan, right? So
he's neighbor. We're neighbors now, so he's got to be. He's got no choice. When he keeps sliding them albums under his door, do you know what I mean? No matter what happens, he's going to wake up to an Erica album on the floor. So
I'm hoping. Did you bring some CDs with you?
Sorry, mate.
Did you bring some CDs with you to Los Angeles?
I actually didn't, because nowadays, as you know, mate, it's more digital. I mean, who buys CDs anymore, Kev?
Yeah, well, you know what?
Modern world, mate. It's downloads, and Spotify, and you can just stream it for free.
Yeah,
if you want, But
just find out where Floyd's room is. Just shove a download card right underneath his door, and you're good to go.
Giving them away, That's what I'm saying. Just bring some, just throw away, But,
you know what? While you're at it, you push the Erica download card. You can also shove some heavy metal stickers that you have underneath the doorway too, right? So, here he goes. Here he goes.
We've been selling them all day.
Mate, I reckon how much we sell this for earlier, Jake?
Well, eBay's not really biting right now.
We got $20 for this one earlier,
yeah, that was my kid. My son Caleb offered that.
We got three left, mate.
So. Shipping too.
Yeah. You know what? Go down to Ali Sash, down four doors down, and just see if Ali will trade you some studio time at Coke Studios for a heavy metal sticker. What do you say?
I'm going to give Ali one of these. I'm going to forge your signature off that drumstick you gave me.
You know what?
to Ali, you know. Oh
You've
yeah,
got-
Jim's already sold that drumstick. He wants one in the post as well. We got Ali, we got Jim, we've got a few lads down at reception know you as well. Tori's a big fan, so he wants one as well. So you got a few drumsticks to.
I love it. Jim, I know you can hear me in the background. Throw me your address, man. Text me your address and let Ali know too. I will definitely send you guys some drumsticks. I'll get you some heavy metal stickers and some other swag for sure. So this is great. Dalton froze up again. So we're going to have to up the Wi-Fi budget at the Ritz-Carlton residences there in Los Angeles. We lost him again. Oh my goodness. Well, this is an opportunity for us just here, you and me, audience. We're going to have an intimate moment and talk about the next guests. As I said, we just confirmed Kip Winger on February 18th. If you just know Kip from those rock and roll Headbangers Ball videos, he's actually done a ton of work since then as a composer. So he composes symphonic work. Right now, I believe he's got a concerto for Stravinsky that he actually just worked in. We'll talk a little bit about that, but Nicky Dial again, the illustrious Nicky Dial. All right, let's get Dalton back in here. There he is. I told Jim, man, we're gonna have to get the Ritz-Carlton to up their Wi-Fi quota. Are you here, buddy? I'm hopeful that we didn't just lose you entirely. Darn it. You locked up, my friend. If you can hear me and you can see me, then just sing away. Well, hopefully we get a chance to get Dalton back on here so he could do some singing. His band Erica has a few records out, some singles that I absolutely fell in love with. He there was a song in particular that he mentioned having written for his mom, and I want him to tell the story behind it. But if I can, I want to see if I can trick him into doing a little acoustic performance of that. So let's do this. Get him on another line.
Are we back in, Kev? Are we back in?
Oh, you're looking even better. Absolutely.
Dude,
you're here.
I promise you. I'm not sure if it's my Wi-Fi or yours, but...
Oh, that's much better. Yeah, no, this is great.
So hold it in my hand so it's a little bit closer for a minute.
Well, I feel like we're a little bit more intimate now. This is actually nicer.
But
so
you
people
have to get a bit closer, Kev, as well. You know what
Do
I mean?
you want to take your shirt off, buddy, and feel?
Yeah, I could do.
Hey, let's do this, man. I was talking about some of the other work that you've done, and maybe needing to get a softer side of Dalton. We're going to have you play guitar a little bit. But coming up, and I definitely do not want to miss this opportunity. When you and I were hanging yesterday at the residences, your amazing buddy Ali Sash was talking about getting you on an incredible event in a week and a half.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
An after party at a little Grammy after party in aid of the fire relief from obviously the local fires in Los Angeles recently. So it's for a great cause as well. It's going to be is a hell of a bill, and there's some beautiful artists on there. So at the minute, I'm a lot of practicing, Kev, going on.
Yeah,
I'm used to having a band, so this one's going to be a solo one with just me and the old. I haven't named her yet, but she's going to have to get a name very soon. I mean, and obviously, anyone in the comments, just let me know. I'm thinking Ethel. I'm thinking Emrys or Ethel.
Ethel, I like that one.
There's an old English name.
Oh, you know what? Actually, if you want to just take it right from the band name, Erica might be a nice.
You know what happens if I just called her Erica? Is that a bit cheesy though? Is that a bit cheesy?
I don't think so. No, as long as it's not Granny.
Well, right? What's your favorite Erica song, Kev? Come on, let me know.
It has to be "Never Punch Your Granny" when she shaves, but she shaves.
That was all from Shaky, the band driver. He was
right.
A legend in his own right. Wild as the day is long, and just drives about 95 mile an hour everywhere. And like I said before, mate, he's an inspiration to us all because he's so full of life. He's so full of life. He's such a happy soul. He's got everything to give and expects nothing in return. So when he says something, you've got to listen to him, because he's wise. He's a really wise man. He's had a lot of lives. And he just randomly blurted it out. Never punch a granny while she's shaving, he said. So I looked at him. Never punch a granny while she's shaving. And I didn't get it at the time. Because you think to yourself, what is it? What does it mean? And I think it's a moral. I think what he was trying to say was, don't do something which is obviously wrong, knowingly. It's obviously wrong. Well, you wouldn't punch a granny if she was shaving or not.
What if she wasn't shaving?
But if she was shaving, it would be like the ultimate
She was not more assaulting.
Well, in England, everyone's now shaves their top lip. Otherwise, they, you know what I mean, they got a bigger top lip than myself.
You surround yourself.
You're gonna have to come sit down in a minute if you keep going on.
I think
you have to come sit down.
Never punched a granny. It's just never come on
just so we are. I was just going to say, just so we're clear, if people are watching this, we don't advocate punching your granny ever, whether while she's shaving or not, right?
I mean, these stunts,
especially when she's shaving.
These stunts are performed by professionals, Kev. I mean, we don't advise anyone tries this at home. You know, this is one of those jackass stunts.
You know how you need to communicate that message to Floyd, right? Because he's the puncher, right?
If Floyd gets a hold of it, the rest is history. You know,
that's.
I think everyone will be on it. You know, he might even change his Money Mayweather to Granny Mayweather.
I love it. Well, you know, if ever you're gonna do a video shoot for Never Punch a Granny while she shaves, then you're gonna have to get Mayweather in there, right? And he's just gonna be chomping at the bit to. But
he's desperate for. I've actually turned him down twice already. He's been knocking on the door.
Yeah, man.
It's like, Floyd, can you leave me alone for a minute? No, I'm trying to shave my top lip.
Don't punch a granny.
Hey, let me ask you, man. So going back to Granny, the first time that I saw you, right? That was the song that I think you finished the night with it, and dynamically, it has everything in it, right? And it builds to this intense crescendo at the end. Stylistically, I mentioned this at the onset, and I've told you this before. In fact, I was playing your stuff for Caleb, my son, who you know. And without me saying anything, he said,
mate, capital A. You were building to a big crescendo at the end there. I picked the guitar thinking you were going into some song. But I'm putting it back down, Kev. We're getting
That's deep. Right. No, put Erica away for a moment, please.
We're getting deep on this one.
Well, I was just going to say, oh, there we go. I'll take all the promotion I can get. No, Caleb, actually.
On the acoustic.
I'm going to send you some heavy metal underwear. I think that's what you need to do. So,
mate, that's why I put them on. I couldn't get them off. It was a bit tight.
Like you wear underwear. I know you don't wear underwear. It's all right, man.
To be fair. Thank you.
Caleb heard your stuff and he said, this has a modern day kind of Alter Bridge vibe. And I said, that's actually what Dalton said about his inspiration, right? You said that you're a big Miles Kennedy fan. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Like, you know, and then yesterday we talked Mammoth, right?
Mammoth. Oh, I love Mammoth. I mean, come on, who doesn't love
Mammoth? The thing about that, so you've seen him live, right?
I haven't seen Mammoth live, no.
Oh my God. Okay, so I saw the show about a year ago. It was one of the best shows I've seen in a decade or more. The crazy thing about it is that, and people may not know this. Okay, so Wolfgang Van Halen is Eddie Van Halen's son, right? Yeah. Mammoth was the original name for Van Halen, right? So before the Van Halen name even came out, the band was called Mammoth. And then they just didn't like that name. So they changed it to aptly named Eddie Van Halen's last name. So Wolfgang came out. He wanted to bring about the reference. So it's Mammoth WVH is the actual title of the band, right?
Yeah.
But the most incredible thing about it is that Wolfgang played on everything. He wrote and played on all the instruments. That first record, it's him on guitar, bass, drums, and vocals, and he wrote everything. So he's kind of like the modern, you know, he's like Dave Grohl, right, with Foo Fighters.
He hears it in his ears, mate. You know, and he's a melody maker at the same time as being a riff creator and a vibe maker. He can create a whole song. He can do the whole package, and he's a brilliant musician. Obviously, if your dad was Eddie Van Halen, you've got to be a great musician. I mean, he's not going to grow up to be the owner of or a manager of a bank. You know, it's just not
right.
He's always going to be wanting that, the same as his father did. And that's the same as me, mate. When I grew up, I was watching my dad play a lot. You know, and I was inspired by my father playing. He'd take me to the gigs. He'd take me to rehearsals. I started off playing the drums, the same as you, Kev. You know,
did you? Yeah.
I just couldn't be dealing with the packing away and setting it back up and stuff. Obviously, you got someone who does it for you now, so it's even better. But back in the day, that was the biggest struggle of all, isn't it? And getting to grips with not being able to make melody on the drums for me was the biggest hitter, because the drums are the backbone along with the bass. They are the driving force, the rhythm, the beat. But it's the melody for me which tickles me. And I really believe that's the same as Wolfgang there. He's a melody maker, and he's great at finding it. You can find it in the most abstract places, and it's amazing and great. And obviously a great guitar player.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely. I was just thinking of him when I watch you play, because from what I understand, you wrote all the music on the Erica stuff, right? That's you actually writing drum parts and everything else as well. So that
yeah, on the latest stuff, yes, absolutely. But early Erica, I've got to give credit to the boys. I'd come to band practice with a song, with an idea in my head, and they've all got their own spices, Kev. Jason's South African, great bass player. He hears grooves, and he hears deep bass lines. Will grew up listening to his dad's vinyl collection, so he's got a very eclectic taste of classic rock, and his drumming is second to none in my eyes. And obviously, then when I come to band practice with a song, when they have their own condiments, their own little spices, it can just change it straight on its head. One note can take the song this way, that way, and credit where credit is due. I may have had the backbone for many of the songs and the driving force for the songs, but the boys really pulled them together. They added their own little vibe there. And I think now I've got Jason back with the boys, it's even better, because he was the biggest writing force for me. We touched base on every note. We wanted to better each other on notes. And Will would be sat there thinking, this is great, or this isn't. It's one or that's it. He could drum to it every time if he liked it or he didn't. But we only got the best out of Will when we let Will take the reins, because that's when he can get into his part. That's when he can feel a part of the record. Because what's the point in writing a record? You all have to play for a long time.
Right.
You all have to be happy with it. You've all got to be content with it, because you're going to play it a lot. You're going to have to pretend to enjoy it a lot if you don't like it. So why would you make your own life hard? So give each one every chance. And sometimes it was what the fuck's that? And I had the same. So what the fuck's that? And other times it'd be gold out of nowhere, just like randomly beautiful, So I can't take credit for the songwriting on the basis, but I can obviously for the background and the lyrics and the melody and the gist of the song. But I got to give Jason and Will credit for they did write their own parts to extent. And they were very malleable at the time as well, as we all were. We've got a great producer, Dave Draper. He works really hard. He gets the best out of us all, and he can find the greatness. Sometimes you can overlook it. You can think, it wasn't. No, you had it. Now you want to do like 12 more takes, and you just sit back, you take it home, have a listen, and you think, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I think the simple is the best. Yeah. I'm the complicated as well, So
is Dean the one that in the videos? I've seen your Instagram videos where you're in the studio and you'll be laying down a solo, or you're just putting some stuff over the top of it, and it seems like there's a real collaborative process, right? Where you've got
massively, yeah, definitely. It's everyone's involved. Whoever's in the studio with us at the time is allowed their 2 pence, as we call it in England. Because they're allowed it. And if it's valid, that's up for discussion. But everyone's allowed their opinion and what their own ears can hear. Because everyone in the studio at that time, I feel, has valuable ears. They might not be classically trained. They might not be able to play the guitar upside down. But they've listened to a lot of music. They know the difference between right and wrong. They know what makes them feel good and what doesn't. So their ears are just as valuable as anyone's. And if he's thinking, that should be simpler, we'll take it on board, we'll have a listen, we'll play it through that way. And then we might even go, fuck, no, I don't know what I was thinking then. Or we can go, that was it, that's all it needed, So everyone's valuable in their own right. And you never shun off any opinions or any contributions to it, I look for constructive criticism in those songs, because that's how you're going to grow. I'm looking for the worst parts. I'm looking for those bits that people go, I didn't get that. And I'm going to think, why didn't you get it? You can't just say you didn't get it though.
Right. You got to have an opinion. Yeah. Something to
Got
back it up.
go, I don't like that. That to me is like, all right,
Right.
whatever.
Well,
You
if
go, I
you don't
don't
like
like
it,
that because, and then go, it should be simplified, or it could have had this. It should have had a little chant in there, a little whoa. It's so simple, and then I'll take that on board and I will listen. Because I want to put that to bed for myself, and
yeah.
everyone else says, and I've got to put it to bed for him. I don't want him to listen to the record and think, that bit should be on there. Let's try it. Let's listen back to it. Don't work, didn't work. No hard feelings. If it worked,
Sure.
great. It's a win-win if you do it that way. So I think that's how you get to where we can all be so passionate on stage, because you can really get involved and play your own parts as if you've written them, because they have. They might have been tweaked along the way and everyone's had their say, but it came from that spark. It came from that little moment, that imagination, that thought. And sometimes it's just what the ear hears, and as you know, Kev, I mean, you're probably one of the most talented drummers out there. I mean, you stick to the time religiously, but but you're still very flexible. And
When I decide to, when it suits me.
Brent, you are a joy to watch live as well.
Thank you,
Everyone
brother.
hasn't seen Kev live, which you probably have. He spends more time catching sticks. It's like a show. You're a show in your life as well. And you keep the beat religiously. So
I appreciate that.
We'll share one song.
Kevin Metal, look at you. I'm gonna hire you as my publicist, man. Hey, you know what? You gave a shout out. Look at that. Capital K in the chat. He was just asking. He would love it if you could talk a little bit about the first song you ever wrote.
Oh, Capital K, good friend of mine, and one of the boys.
One of the boys.
First song I wrote was called "Run, Sally, Go, Hide." And when I was growing up in school, I was about 13 years old, right, when I wrote that song. And it was a big deal in our little school, in little old Winchcombe in the middle of nowhere. And people, even today, they go, "Oh, run, Sonny, go hide," in my local town. Like, they were like, "Oh." And even though to me it's like a thing of the past, that was one of the biggest feelings you could ever get as a young writer. Having someone appreciating music so early on. And not only that, my parents being so well behind me and giving me the opportunities to express myself. And not beating me for it and looking down on me, but praising me and encouraging me to be something I wanted to be, and giving that opportunity to express myself instead of just going with the flow and trying to get a job and being normal. Mate, I wanted to do music, and I didn't care if I was skinned, That was the truth. I still busk on the streets today if I had to. It's just because I love it. I love singing live. I love playing.
But okay, so two things. Number one, yesterday you told me an amazing story about your dad getting your first gig at 6.
Yeah.
And so your first gig, right? Your first live performance in front of a crowd was at 6. And Jim showed a video yesterday of you guys down at Cabo earlier this year. And you walked in on this band. You knew this. You didn't even know the song. You're looking up lyrics on your phone as you're singing this thing live. And you owned it like that had been your band from the beginning, the Greta Van Fleet song, right? It sounded like you actually wrote the song yourself. So you truly, and I'm saying this not because you are my buddy and I love the shit out of you, but there's one thing you were put on this planet to do, at least one thing, but there's no doubt in my mind that you were born for the stage. You're not one of those guys that needs to be a ghostwriter behind the scenes. You're absolutely destined to be a star on the stage. And I feel an obligation to make sure that everybody I know can find out about Erica and find out about Dalton Levi Woodward. Man, I'm excited for the people in the Grammy after party to get to see a different side of you. And if you're okay with me saying this, like yesterday, we were talking about, okay, so what are you going to do for this Grammy after party? Do you bring in tracks of the band and try and play in front of those things, or do you strip it down? What I saw from you yesterday was so vulnerable and authentic that if anybody of worth can see you play and not see the talent and the gifts that you have, then they're dead. They're not even living, man.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate it, Kev. I appreciate it.
Did you notice
so
the swagger and confidence he had when he went and played with that band? It was like he didn't
uh,
give a shit. He was
Yeah.
gonna own it.
yeah, I don't think that was all
No,
Patron. That was
he
not all Patron talking. I think that was
wasn't
actually
the
that was
drone talking because you're sober now, Kev. You've been sober for long, 12 odd years, so you've been well behaved.
You
But
didn't even know those guys in front of him. And it was like
yeah,
they've done it.
yeah, they
yeah,
did. And I think the truth was that they went out on a whim. They did buy birthday cake on a whim on that night because we hounded them about the night, the club before in
yeah,
Cabo. We were just, we were, yeah, but the same night, but the different club when we was in Cabo, Wabo or something. And they was like,
yeah,
oh, can I jump up and sing you boys? I was like, mate, I'm finishing now, but we're going to this bar here. Come along and sing. So he was like, we'll go for it. So we were walking around Cabo trying to find this bar. We couldn't find it for the life of us, man. And then in the distance, we heard this rock and roll sign. And we were like, that's it. We've
that's
got it.
it.
Made our way to the club. And he was like, hey. And
Oh,
as you just said, mate, the worlds collided. Great band behind us at Cabo.
yeah.
Brilliant lads. Honest as the day is long. And we just let it
But
have it.
I mean, as a musician, right? When I watched that, I was looking at the other guys' faces, and these guys were so thrilled that this dude not only knows what he's doing, but you elevated, right? You brought it to the next level. And I just think, you talk about your parents not only supporting you, but pushing you, your dad, like driving you to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of musicians, and I get a lot of people that watch this show that are either aspiring musicians or unfortunately, they didn't have the support from family, so it killed their dream, brother. You know, they
I can imagine
they're,
it
li-
would, mate,
they're living
Because
vicariously through what you and I are doing right now, and
mm,
it's tragic. But at the same time, if it's in your heart, right, in your soul, then you don't stop. It's never something that you have to give up. And
exactly. I mean, I can
I,
imagine without my mother and father, it would have been very difficult, and it would have been almost
yeah,
impossible actually, to be able to break the like London and even get. I was so young, I couldn't even drive. I couldn't even afford a hotel and things. And my
yeah,
father, he went out of his way, paid for that, and looked after me, and also recorded our first album, paid for the hard copies.
did
So,
he?
yeah, he did. So
Oh, that's
he, and this is the truth he told me. I mean, I to you. He took out a loan to pay for that, Kev. He had no money
wow,
to pay for that, and we're talking 10 years ago. So that to me that was love because he didn't have the money, but he,
yeah,
he found it. He
ah,
found it because he believed in me. And if he went out of his way to find it, it wasn't just a simple
yeah,
it's nothing.
yeah,
It meant everything to him. That was the last buck he had. And he believed in my album that hard. He put every fucking penny he didn't have and borrowed some from the bank to make it happen. So that was my first proper feeling of I've got to. Now I've got to write a good song, and now
yeah,
I've got to be better than I was because someone believes in me. So I can
yeah,
feel exactly if you're out there listening now and you haven't got parents or that. I mean, it's not impossible. It's a lot harder. But the good news is social media and things like that today, they are just so huge. You don't have to. I mean, your mother and your father, if you haven't got one, should be TikTok, should be Instagram, should be all the social medias, and you should be trying to smash them as hard as you can every day. Because you can get, the whole world can hear you now from your bedroom, you know?
yeah,
When we were psych, your mum and dad listened to you from your bedroom. We're normally like, turn it down, for fuck's
yeah.
sake. Do you know what I mean? And we're like, do you know what I mean? But
You,
now it's like, now you're going live on Facebook, you've got loads of followers. No one gives a shit. You can explode overnight. So
yeah, that's true.
Anything's possible nowadays.
Can I
He
just
talked
say,
to,
going back to the Cabo thing, what I did the most is, bands don't like people going on the stage. That guy who took his place, he was smiling and happier than shit.
yeah, yeah.
You're
Well, because
taking
he's
his job.
yeah. Well, he's learned.
His
He's
job.
And he was happy.
They took his job.
he's getting a free education, man. It, hey, let's talk. I mean, because you just talked about your parents. Let's go back to your mom. It's a beautiful story, right? That you wrote this song, and I love the meaning behind it. But the fact, really, I love the way you tell it. So tell me a little bit about Butterfly.
Butterfly. It's in a nutshell. It's the circle of life in a weird way, which is just three stages in my eyes. You're a cocoon for a while. Uh, You fly about for a bit, and then you die. And every stage you take, normally your mother or father are on the next, and your grandparents are on the one above it. So it's about my mother, but I wanted to write my mum a song she'd appreciate, for giving me life, for giving me my wings, and for making me flourish. But I didn't want her to not hear it, so I thought I'd write it before she died. Otherwise, she couldn't hear it. It's strange. I wanted to write it, and if she wasn't happy with it, Kev, I would have been like, "No, I'll write you another one." But she loved it, so this is forever going to be her song.
Yeah. Would you mind if I threw you under the bus a little bit and just give us a little bit of?
So you love throwing me under the bus.
This
out of everything, it had to be Butterfly. Right?
I know, man. This is not fair because I know that when we talked about having you on the show, it was more about a chat, but we have to be able to share some of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take myself off camera, and folks, I want you to do me a favor. If you guys are watching this and you don't have headphones in, I want you to put in your buds, put in something to get some good noise isolation. If you're driving, pull over on the side of the road and just give me, Dalton, if you can give me like just a little taste, man, I would love to hear it. This is Dalton Levi
I'll give you a
Woodward.
verse and a chorus.
Okay, love it.
Suddenly a nighttime turns blue. My love for you slowly torn in two, just like a butterfly. I'll watch you fly. I know someday soon I'll say my goodbyes to you. Till then, let's make sure that we get it all. Today's the day we have to save. I won't look back and regret and feel good.
So beautiful, man. I love that song so much. I'm really most impressed not only with that song and your presentation of it, but the fact that Jim wasn't in the background singing those harmonies because I know he wanted to.
He was in the background of it.
Yeah.
Just those who need background harmonies.
Yeah,
he was doing the low E wobble.
He
had famous for that. He's actually famous for the low E wobble.
He had the lighter up in the background.
Can you do Butterfly Fly Away?
More requests. You know what's amazing, and we're gonna have to do this at Jim's place next time I come down too. The location that you're in is not only just spectacular, especially right now, man, that view, but I got the museum treatment yesterday. I got a walkthrough of just an incredible collection of really thoughtful pieces. So when we
it's a museum here, but I'll give you
any time to do your podcast here. I don't do anything.
I appreciate
Kevin's
that.
Coming. You don't have to invite him. He's invited himself. He's coming for a podcast, Jim. You better be ready.
In fact, I'm going to be in that next. Jim, I'm going to be crashing on your couch right there, man, pretty soon. So
we can call it Kev's couch, You
just don't
We're going to have a casting couch right there at Jim's place.
You know it.
I am. So, have you decided what you're going to play for the after party at the Grammys?
Oh, Joe, I'm umming and ahhing through a few songs at the minute. I mean, it's only been a day I've known I'm playing, so
yeah,
I'm going through them. I've been about 4, 5, 6 songs today. I'm looking at, Joe, I like Michael Jackson at the minute. Really into it.
Yeah. Well, so the Michael Jackson song you're talking about, there's meaning behind that too. So tell me about the significance, like what that means to you.
Well, Human Nature is the song, and I mean,
yeah.
When I was growing up, I believed it was written by Quincy Jones, I think. But actually,
right.
believe it was written by a Fleetwood Mac,
Oh.
Tom Porcano, something
Okay.
like that, I'm sure. And I didn't realise that. But the melody in it is absolutely incredible, and the lyrics really resonate with today in my eyes, you know.
Sure.
And the city is great. The city is a crazy place, and it doesn't sleep, and the world can be cruel, Kev. As
Oh,
you know,
buddy.
the world can be really cruel, and it's hard to explain really. But this song has a lot of. I grew up listening to this album, and it touched me, you know, in heavy ways, bro. Because the lyrics, the melody, and the vulnerability Michael always portrayed, which was so authentic, and it was
Incredible.
peaceful. It was a joy to listen to because you could hear the passion in his voice. He believed in the lyrics, you know. So human
Did
nature
you?
is right on top of on my foremind, you know, because as we can see, the world can be a horrible, crazy place, but we all
You
got
know,
that part in us to make it a better place. We all want it in a weird way. It's just how we can do that.
yeah. There was a moment yesterday when you and I were on that couch and your pal Ali Sash was there, and he was talking about bringing people together with music and this connection that he works with artists in the studio, and how important it is to just have this. It's a spiritual thing, man. Whether somebody really believes in that or not, it's an undeniable feeling, and it's important that it gets shared. You know, I really hope that in the podcast when we have these kind of conversations that it is real. I mean, we could talk about stuff it's close to us, whether it's positive, happy stuff, or
Hey,
maybe this.
this is called Access All Live, mate, and we're accessing all, mate. I'm not going to hide anything away from you, brother. You can ask me
Yeah,
about ex-misses, you can ask me about current affairs. I mean, the next one, I'm going to ask you the same, though.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wear my heart on my sleeve,
We know
and
you do, brother. We
to
know
a
you.
fault,
That's why we
right?
all love you. That's why we all love you. You know that, don't you?
Well, you and I connected this way the very first time we met. I mean,
Thank you.
several years ago, the first time Erica played with the Flock of Seagulls at the Fleece in Bristol, England, and I remember feeling like I don't know, man. It's very rare for me to go out and see a band that has the whole package and feel connected to them. And then I got so excited, right, when we were coming back to the Bristol show because we had to have Erica back in the bill. And then when you came back and didn't have a drummer, right? And I'm like, oh man, I got butterflies, and I kind of felt like there's got to be some way because I know these songs and they're meaningful to me, right? And the only thing I could do since I was already on the bill with my own band, I could just be there in the front with my lighter up and my Facebook Live and just try to share this with as many people as I could because what you brought to me and what you brought to that crowd was this feeling of connection. And I panned the camera around when you guys were playing. Everybody in there knew every song. Some of those songs, there are tears in their eyes, man. And so you've obviously impacted a lot of people there. I'm hoping that it expands outside the UK. I really do want to see you globally. Did you guys ever play like across the pond? Did you guys ever do like at least down in the rest of Europe? Did you play France or Belgium or anything like
Yeah,
that?
we played in Annecy in
Okay.
France for the Twin Sound for Cheltenham. We also played at Primo Maggio.
Played South Beach once.
Primo Maggio, which was I got a tough crowd tonight. I got Jim on me as well, everyone. By the way, if you can't already hear him chipping in.
Yeah, no, we can hear him. But his
He's
banter is.
I'm looking at you, Kev. And I'm looking at Jim over my shoulder like that.
Listen, Kevin Guerrero said, Guerrero wasn't been asked to talk to anything. The thing is, he doesn't really know any of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we already know who's the king of the musical trivia for sure. So you're on my team, Jim. When we go,
Mate, don't worry. When I show you around these slot machines, I'll be sure to tell you more about them than Jim will actually know about them. So I'll tell you, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's talk about. Yeah, I would love to hear some connection music, man. Give me. You want to get a little Human Nature
cover or something?
If you can pull off acoustic Human Nature, I think that's a beautiful way to tie this all together.
Well, I'm going to try my hardest, Kev. I'm going to try my hardest. Yeah, no Fleetwood Mac. looking out across this night now. Steady waits sleepless eyes. Hear her voice shake my window. Sweet juice inside. Get me out to the nighttime. For more me tonight. If this place is just a metaphor, let me take a bite. They say right. Tell them that it's human nature. Right, does he doing it right? Right. Tell them that it's human nature. Right, does he doing it right? I'll keep living that way. I'll keep loving that way.
That's right, man. I think that has to be one of the three that you play at the Grammy after party, because
You reckon
that
so? Is that on the set list?
it has to be, right? Unless you could find another song that represents.
If you're telling me it's got to be on the set list, brother, consider it on the set list. So.
Well, let's talk about what that whole event is, right? So it's about fire relief, right? I mean, Los Angeles had incredibly difficult time right now with those fires. What and the only thing that brings that community together is the human connection, you know, and human nature has to be part of it. I think, man, you know, once you can provide a little bit of light in that darkness for those people, they can't help but want to know a little bit more about Dalton. So speaking of Dalton, we've got a future solo project coming out. Is that correct?
I believe so, mate. I'm going to just try and do some collabs this year as a solo artist. Got a lot of music in the background for Erica. Got nearly the whole album created and ready to go. But as I'm here,
there's the fire trucks.
You can hear the fire trucks.
I can hear the fire trucks. Yeah. Welcome to Los Angeles, man.
Do you want to see the fire trucks?
Let's check it out. Let's see the view.
So we're gonna go to the window, and I assume they are down there somewhere, Kev, on that busy old road.
It's crazy. I mean, that view. If we pan just to the right, I think we get to see the Hollywood sign, right?
Oh yeah, the
other direction. The other direction.
Dave, you're going to be able to see the sign for me.
Yeah. During the day, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, well, Jim's just going to reinvent me right now.
Oh,
I'm officially American now. Yeehaw, boy, come on now.
Oh my goodness! Welcome.
Oh shit!
Welcome to America, Dalton Levi Woodward.
Hey, well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Oh,
I've got to be a British cowboy. Well, that was absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate you, Kevin. Pardon me, old boy.
Distinguished gentleman. Oh my goodness. Hey, you know what? I saw you got a bunch of fans and followers out there on Instagram that just tuned into this. And so, guys, if I've missed your chat, I apologize. I've mostly focused on YouTube here. I did see Ali pop in there, and one thing that I mentioned is that, you know, if you guys are watching this and you didn't notice, there's a link below. Go to Instagram.com/Dalton_Levi_Woodward. Get out there and show Dalton some love. What you're going to find, aside from amazing experiences of Dalton in the studio and kind of showing off some of the riffs that he's doing on guitar, which, by the way, underrated guitarist. And we talked about Miles Kennedy. We talked about Mark Tremonti. Phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal vocalist, but you've got that package too. So you show all that off. But then we also get a look at Dalton by day, chasing farm animals around the countryside in the UK.
Yeah, that's what normally my pants off, man. I got this cowboy hat on at the same time. I'm going, come on, sheep, come on home.
I love it. Like, tell me about those days. Like, what is your?
That's the dream, isn't it? Really, because I mean, other than spending time in Los Angeles here, I also have the privilege of looking after Jim's farm in England, which is happens to be next door to my farm in England. So we're neighbours in England.
Yeah.
We became best friends through music. Jim wanted to record a song, we recorded it. He wanted to play it live, we played it live. It was bucket lists, and I had to clear that off for him. You know, that was.
Went to number one in like 2 weeks.
I think it went to number one in 2 weeks in the Winchcombe charts.
I think so.
We're gonna vet that. I'm gonna do some fact checking on that, make sure that that's legit. But
hey, there's only 2 bands in the Winchcombe charts, mate, and it was Erica and Dalton, so we had to go to number one at some point. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah, you know what? Another thing that I noticed yesterday was that you lost most of your publishing to Jim and Ali. So most of
I'm now just a puppet, mate. I don't even exist anymore. What you see here is just a vessel.
Oh,
he just has to, you know what? He has to mix his guitar higher. He's getting beat up on the drums. That's
exactly. That's why we got rid of the drummer. There we go, Jim. The case is closed.
That's my biggest problem. You don't mix right on your guitar.
It's going to be really difficult for me to play behind you, brother, because I'm such a big fan of the music. But at some point, it's a bucket list item for me to play some of those songs with you.
Brother, it's gonna be my pleasure when you join us on stage, Gavin. I promise.
I can't wait. You know what?
We'll have your boy there with us, mate.
We'll get your VIP backstage passes too.
Yeah, we might even slip you on the guest list. I mean,
oh yeah, you're not gonna make me pay.
Which we all know it never works.
You know, it will have to be me and Jim backstage because yes, Caleb will be playing drums with you. And
there we go. So Caleb, you better get the L drumming ready, my brother.
You know,
got to catch up with you, Kev, because you've learned all around. You know more songs than I do.
Oh, buddy, I am such a fan of. I told you before too. Aliens is one of my all-time favorite songs. It's like the massive chorus. We have, I think you and I both have a real fascination with a beautiful bridge. I love your bridges, man, and I think it's the most underrated part of a song. Right, the chorus is the hook. Right, that's what gets everybody. That's what sells the records. But to me, a bridge makes a song identifiable. It really makes it special, you know.
Yeah. And it's where you can take the song to another world. The bridge, it's not called a bridge because it's called a bridge in my eyes because it goes across a very big canyon there, mate. You know,
you've
got to get to the other side somehow. And where you put it's up to you where you can go. The bridge you can take the song to another place. I mean, Steely Dan, Donald Fagen, Steely Dan, he does it best. I mean, really does. His bridges are second to none. He can take a song 3 minutes somewhere else and then come back. And that's always inspired me as well, I suppose. So I love a good bridge.
The bridge comes in, too.
Where you put the bridge in, how you place it. And
so you don't get bored.
I think right on the cusp of boredom it gets you.
Yeah.
And then you just get at least a life and then bang, straight back into the chorus or wherever you want to go. And if you've got great pieces written, I mean, I normally write sections of songs and I can just sort of juggle them together. I mean, don't get me wrong, a song, it can just come in 10 minutes, the whole thing, and that was it. Thank God we recorded that. But some days it can take weeks. It can take weeks to find that one chord, that one note, which takes it that different place. You know, it makes you feel, whoa, now I'm back in, I'm invested in it again. I'm really invested into it now because I feel part of the song, you know. I want it to go there, and I want to take everyone with me. And I'm going to go on there, you know what I mean? So you're right, bridges are really underrated. They're probably the most important part of the song. And also the intro. That's got to be it's got to grab you instantly. And I made that mistake a few times in the past where Lucky 7 was, in my eyes, one of our greatest riffs. But not many people have heard it because the intro's a minute and a half long.
Right,
And you get 30 seconds into it, Kev, even I want to fucking switch the song, you know?
You broke the rules there, right?
I broke my own rules, dude. And that was me as a younger version of me, and I learned from that song, you know, and I'm just trying to get quickest way in, deepest, hardest punch, cool them down for a moment, let them regroup, and then finish them off with a big riff. That's the resolve. I like that resolve at the end as well, you know.
You and your punches, man. There's a theme here. I think that's, again, we need Mayweather as part of this. But
Mayweather's going to come in with a flying headbutt in a minute. He's getting here knocking on the door. And I said, "Let me in!" He just had his cowboy hat on.
Paul tells me a lot of songs when he's working on stuff. And you know, The key for me is if I tap my foot, I like it.
Yeah, you're right. If you tap in your foot, you're into it.
Yeah, yeah,
so
for sure.
I mean, the producer says it best as well. He said, "Don't try and be clever. Don't try and be clever. No one's listening to 3/4. No one's dancing to 3/4. People are dancing 4 to the floor, mate. 4/4.
Yeah.
Keep it religious. Keep the beat simple. And simple is sometimes the best you can do.
Don't reinvent the mousetrap.
Exactly. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, mate. But we are trying just to harness our inner feel-good men. You know, you make yourself feel good. As selfish as it sounds, but that's what we're looking for. And that, when you make yourself happy and you really don't care what anyone else thinks, then I think that's a different sort of originality. You know, that's when you can really go, we're going to play it tonight, whether you like it or not. There's two blokes sat in the bar. One's eating fish and chips with his dog. The other one's absolutely sloshed at the bar. But I'll tell you what, Kev, I'm going to give these two blokes the best show of their life. They ain't going to believe when they leave this place. They're going to leave that place thinking, oh, fucking hell, that was mind-blowing.
It works.
No one gets away from that.
That's what you did to me, man. As I ate my fish and chips there at the bar, you just blew my mind. So the next opportunity for you. I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but it sounds like August are the next opportunities for people to see Dalton live besides the Grammy After Party.
In the UK for sure. I'm going to be doing a few festivals this year, playing with Sunshine, with all sorts of great bands. Lake Fest. Another great lineup of bands. We're regulars at Lake Fest. They look after us, we look after them, and it's reciprocal and beautiful. It's a great connection, and I love festival season in England. It is, it's beautiful. It's a place and a time where people can just come out. You camp. You've got about 8 weeks of the year where festivals really hit hard. Once every weekend. Sometimes we do 2 in a weekend. And that's just
you're not
let loose.
I mean, Glastonbury is a huge thing, and it's right near you, right? Isn't it very close to where you live in?
Yeah, it's not actually that far away, Glastonbury. And you know what? I've even sat there with Alan McGee in the Prince Albert in Stroud, and I was sat me, Declan McKenna, and we were having a great big pizza, and that was it. Nothing ever came. I didn't have the chat, I didn't have the talk, I didn't have the songs, Kev, you know. And I didn't sell myself. And I've never been great at selling myself. I find it very awkward. But even when I said to you about, I gave you my bio, can you write me a bio? I was like, oh mate, come on. I don't like doing that, because how can you tell someone like you're great or you're the best in the world? Mate, only I believe that in myself, but I don't want to tell people, because that makes me look like a cock. So
humility is a great thing with you.
Referencing yourself is always difficult to do. So I got the boat to the bar to do it downstairs. I was like, lads, can you write me a reference? Like, just some sort of musical reference. And Jim,
you realize if you're playing this Grammy After Party in about a week and a half, they're going to need bio information on you, because they're going to promote you, right? So if you end up using what the people downstairs wrote for you, make sure that you add in little taglines from Jim, because he definitely has he's got the fluffer material, you know.
He's got a book of wisdom, mate, or Jim. It's like a book of wisdom.
I'm a journalist.
The journalist,
yeah. He's going to say Dalton Woodward derived completely from Fleetwood Mac song catalog, right? Like, you know, I didn't realize, like, Jim just doesn't like Fleetwood Mac. What's up with that?
I don't think he's ever listened to them.
I have listened to them. I don't like them. I don't know where they fit. They're not rock and roll. They're kind of still 60s folk stuff. I don't like them. I just don't.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them. I just can't get into them. They don't fit in my mold of what I like.
Well, as an American, Kev, what do you think on Fleetwood Mac?
I actually love Fleetwood Mac. Well, because they have 3 different singers, right? So there are songs that were less popular that I liked that Lindsay did. I think Stevie Nicks is amazing, and like Christine McVie, you know. So, but so there are unpopular choices, right? There are bands. There's one band in particular that is everybody's favorite in the U.S. and Jim's gonna hate me for this, but I can't stand them. I turn them off every time they come on. Anybody that watches my show knows that I despise the Chili Peppers. It's because of Anthony Kiedis. He can't sing the key.
No, don't worry, you haven't upset anyone yet. No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think a lot of people lost respect for him, you know. I think they were good once. That were a very short niche, and that was the end of it.
I don't like a big guy wearing a diaper.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the rhythm section's killer, right? If I could just take the drums and the bass out of that and just have no anthem. But is there a band like that you don't get, that is insanely popular, that you just can't stand?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go the opposite. I like a band. One of my favorite bands is Rush. But a lot of people don't get them, and they think
Yeah.
they're a bit too complicated, and they can't get the vocals. They don't hear what he says. But we love Rush, mate. I'm a big Rush fan. You know,
You're gonna have another
Caravan or Limelight. You know, it's going to be up there. So
love it. Yeah, no,
everyone's different. That's the beautiful thing about music, Kev. You know, because
yeah, right.
It's an opinion.
Yeah,
it's a taste. It's like no one can change that. How you hear music is how you hear it. You know, I'm not going to try and change that. I'm going to just appreciate your opinion on it, and that to me is valuable because you've got a good set of ears. I've got a good set of ears. You like different things to me. You might like Marmite. I might not. Doesn't mean we're any different. You know,
right? It's
appreciate that you like food. You know, it always blows my mind. It's not an argument that's ever existed in my mind because music's so versatile. I mean,
it's subjective.
Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own vibe, different agendas. I just appreciate as much music as I can possibly listen to.
You know, my thing is for being in the United States and England, it's so different because in England they have these festivals like Woodstock type things. So they go for 3 days. They have like 30 bands play. And we don't have that here. We go to the crypto.
You've got like Coachella and things like that, haven't you? You got Coachella. There's some South by Southwest.
Yeah, but not many. We just the whole summer they're all over the place.
Yeah,
you don't have concert
in England, mate. That's what I said. That for a very short period. It's like 6 to 8 weeks of the year in the summer. You know, like July, August time. It's festivals every weekend, all weekend. But I mean,
we should have big arenas to play.
That's the weather in my eyes. You know what I mean?
Like if you got to go 3 hours, 4 hours to see Wembley.
Yeah.
You know, so here's the thing. If you're going to go to like an all-day festival where you're going to see a whole myriad of bands, then Jim already knows this. You guys need to be coming to the Greek on August 24th to come and see a Flock of Seagulls play. Right?
We'll be there.
All right. We're going to do this. You're going to bring bolt cutters. We're going to cut that padlock that's up on the skylight. We're going through the skylight. We're going to shimmy down the roof. Yep. And we're going to do a little live.
Bird's eye view this time.
Jim, that's where your podcast is going to be, is on top of the Greek, man. We're going to be on our bellies, and we're going to
make sure. And the follow-up to the LA County Jail.
Yeah, no, that's all right, man. That's all right. Well, as long as they have good Wi-Fi, we'll do it from there.
Won't be the first time.
Unfortunately, that's true. Hey, listen, I kept these guys up late, man. I'm sure their night is just winding down, and let me.
We're on the brink of bedtime here, mate. It must be time for bedtime.
Folks, listen, if you came here late, you should know this about Dalton. This boy knows how to party, right? I mean, when they wrote the book on rock and roll, I think he read it inside and out, went through the footnotes and discovered all the ways to somehow pack more hours in the day than most.
I just read the blurb, Kev. I just read the blurb. I just go for the blurb, mate, and then we read the book.
You're leaving no stone unturned, though. I dig that. If you guys did get here late, I want you to go back to the beginning. Tons and tons of stories, but more importantly, there's some beautiful music that just got performed by Mr. Dalton Levi Woodward. If you have not done so, do me a favor. Go to this link below. Go to Instagram.com/Dalton_Levi_Woodward and love him, subscribe to him, and also subscribe to this channel. If you have not done so, youtube.com/@AccessKevin. Wednesday night, 2 nights from now, 5 o'clock, we've got Tommy Two-Tone, 8675309. And you'll be seeing next week, the following Friday, we'll have Nikki Dial, 2024 AVN Artist Hall of Fame. And then next month, and February 18th, we'll have Kip Winger. So lots of amazing guests. So subscribe to the channel. You'll find all about them. And Dalton, my man.
Yeah, my brother.
The next time I see you, it's going to be on the Grammys after hours party. It's going to be
downstairs, brother. Downstairs.
Incredible, man. I'm so grateful for this time. And Jim Harrison, dude, thank you for sharing your place. It was
Anytime, anytime.
beautiful hang with you. Ali Sash, man, thank you for making that happen for Dalton too. I think that guy is he's a game changer for all of us. So
He's a
props
god.
to Ali.
Pushing.
And listen, have a great time at the Grammy after party. And I can't wait to hear about that and your return to the UK. I'll be seeing you. We're going to be back there in October. So I look forward to be hanging with you in October, my man.
Can't wait to see you, brother. As
Right
always.
back
As
at
always.
the Fleece. So make sure I'll be giving a heads up to anybody promoting these shows. Erica needs to be on these shows, and somehow I'm gonna have to sneak in a song with you guys if I can on drums. You know, I have to.
No, you have to. It's only right. It's only right, Kev.
Go out there and find this guy, you guys, on Spotify and Apple Music and every place else that you can get Erica Band. So you'll find him. In fact, in the show notes for Dalton's podcast, if you go to accesskevin.com, I will put show notes with links to all those streams. And then once it's done, I'm sure there'll be some documented footage of the Grammy after party, and I'll put that there too. So, my man, thank you so much. Happy effing New Year, my friend.
Happy effing New Year to you, my brother. And you've had as always, mate, call me anytime. I'll answer. That's what makes it for.
Pleasure meeting you, sir, and great job.
Jim, send me your address. I'm sending you some heavy metal stuff, all right?
He wants some sticks back because he's this close to stealing that stick off me.
Yep, you got it. You'll get
it. Where's that fucking stick going?
Yeah, you'll get a stick. You got it, my friend. I'll send you a little swag pack.
Boy.
I love it. Oh, that looks authentic. It looks like you even know how to put it on, man. That's impressive. Yeah, and it didn't even mess your hair up either. That's impressive. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you, everybody here at All Access Live on Wednesday. Have a great evening, folks. Be good.